Hey, how are you today? I'm getting ready to have a class on watercolor here. And one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of watercolor students really don't know how to tape off their paper when they get ready to paint. Now, the key with this is you want to make sure that you have a nice little thin white border. And the reason why I say that is because that way your paper doesn't slide around as you get it wet and you're putting brush strokes on it. So when you get finished, it should look like this. This is a sketchboard, paint board. It has the little clamps on here to hold the paper in place. But if you do a nice little white border around your painting, it can be acrylic. It doesn't have to be watercolor. We're just doing watercolor in my class. And so when you get done with it, until you can get it framed, it looks like a finished picture. It gives it a nice look when you get done. So you want to have a board, whether it's one of these guys. This was actually a deal where it was two for a certain price. And since I have an art student, sometimes I have a couple art students, I keep these on hand so they can tape their paper to the board as well. So it's basically a masking tape. It's actually called a mounting tape or that you can use. Then these pieces of watercolor paper are 140-pound cold press. And what's great about taping it to this board, if you put it on landscape wise and you decide you want to do portrait, you can flip it around. So you put your paper down on your board, wherever you want to put it, and then you barely overlap. When you take off your tape, you want to go past the edge of the paper. So add another inch. You can measure it if you want, but that's a little excessive. To me, I just kind of eyeball it. And then I go down and I tape down one long side first. Real bare minimum little white edge. I mean, the tape is just there to hold it in place. It's not going over it in a huge way. And as you can see, it's just barely holding it. And that's all you need. And you're going to do that on all four sides. And I'll show you one that a finished little piece to show you exactly how nice it looks. I've got one over here. I think it's on the other side there. Like that. And you want to try to kind of make them all the same width, which can be challenging in itself. But not to worry, you can always reposition it before you actually get painting on it. And we're going to do this edge here. This is about a 1/16 of an inch overlap. Just enough to hold the paper. Like I said, you don't need a big wide piece of masking tape. You can use painter's tape, but make sure you pre-test your painter's tape that it doesn't pull up the paper when you go to take it off, because sometimes the glue on painter's tape can be very unforgiving. And then you just do it on all four sides. Just like that, and you're ready to paint. Let me show you the results of doing it this way. Let's see. I have one. Actually, I've got a couple of them. A couple different ones that I've done. One's a smaller one, one's a larger one. And I don't have frames for these yet, but they are very presentable. So if you wanted to just, have a painting that you did and you were selling just the painting itself without framing, without matting, if you're pricing them as such, it's ready to go. It looks like it is a finished piece. And then I did this same kind of painting, only in a monochrome, in a bigger piece, but I still did my white edging. See how nice and finished off that looks? It makes it have a more professional look, don't you think? So this is how you prep your watercolor paper. You can even do it for acrylic, because I've done the same thing with my acrylic paintings, just to make sure they have a nice little edge, kind of like when you used to get your photos developed and you would get them back and they would have that nice little border. Well, now they're borderless. Well, the border is almost necessary when you're doing painting. So I hope you tried this out with your next project, and hope you've enjoyed this video. Please come back. I've got more paintings coming up.